Hello guys, this is Krishna and welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to see how to perform CRUD operations using React and Firebase. So this is the demo of what we are going to achieve. So this is the form which is used for adding the data to the database, and this form is used for updating the data, and here you will be able to get the data in the form of table. If there is no data available, we are going to show this text: no data available, please add some data. And I'm going to add some data here. And once user clicks on add user, we are able to get a data with the first name and last name, and we will be able to get two buttons. One is update and delete. If user clicks on update, you will be able to get the data in this text box, and you can edit this as well. And once user clicks on update user, you will be able to see this text in this table. So we have performed update operation, and once user clicks on this delete, we will be able to delete the data. So you can see here, if there is no data available, we are able to show this text. So I am going to enter this again and I will show this. And you should be able to see this data in the Firebase database. You can see here we have got this in the form of JSON and the first name, last name, and this is in this way we can add the data. And if user deletes this data, we will be able to see there is only one data available here, so it will be automatically updated, so you don't need to again refresh this. So for this, first we have to go to Firebase console. I will create a new Firebase project, and I have to go to Firebase console. So what we are going to do here is we have to create a project, and we have to create a database inside this Firebase project. So we have to give some name here, Firebase CRUD. Click on continue, and you can enable or disable this, and you can continue. So if you have any default account, you can click on this. If you want to create a new account, you have other option as well. You can click on that and proceed there, and you have to click on create project. So it will take some time to get created. So in order to perform CRUD operations using Firebase, we don't need to have any API here. We are directly connecting this to our React project, and we are able to do the CRUD operations here. So you can click on continue, and it will be navigated to the project what we have created. So you should be able to see this project, and you have to go to real-time database. So here we are going to create the database, and you can click on create database. You can select any of this. I am selecting United States and clicking on next. So there is a start in locked mode, and you can click on start in test mode and click on enable. So once you are done with this, you should be able to navigate to this real-time database, and in this way we can create the database in our Firebase project. Now we are going to create our project in our React, so we will see how to do that. So this is the project what I have created for performing the CRUD operations using React. So in this project, let us go to app.js. So in this app.js, I am going to import some other file. So for this, I am going to create a file called Firebase CRUD.js. So we are going to write our entire code related to CRUD operations in this file. So constant Firebase CRUD equal to. So we have to create this by using arrow function syntax. And you can export this file by using this component by using export default or named export as you wish. The next thing we are going to do here is we have to install Firebase in our application by using a command called npm install Firebase. So it will take some time to get installed. So I have already installed this, so there is no need to install this again. So in this project I am going to use another thing called semantic UI. So you can go to this semantic UI React. So this is one of the famous React integration in many of our real-time projects. So here you will be able to get the commands to install this semantic UI, and you can get these elements as well. So you can play with these elements and all. So let us go to this get started. So here you will be able to see npm install semantic UI React and semantic UI CSS, and we have to import this particular import in our index.js. So I have done this already. If you have not installed, you can go back to your application and you can import this and install this particular command. And if you are using yarn, then you can go with this. If you have installed this, you can go back to this package.json and check whether you are able to see semantic UI React and CSS. And the next one is Firebase. When I am recording this video, it is 8.2.10, so it may vary based on your thing. And the next thing we are going to do is importing this Firebase CRUD in our app.js. Inside this container, I am going to import Firebase CRUD. So you should be able to get this intelligence here. So there is some issue with this. That's it. After this, we have to go to firebase.js. I have not created this, so I am going to create a firebase.js file. For writing the code related to Firebase. In this firebase.js, we have to import Firebase from Firebase, and after this we have to provide some config to this. And the next thing is initializing the app dot initialize app. So we have to provide this Firebase config in order to initialize this. So this is optional. And the next one is export default Firebase. In order to perform this CRUD operations, we have to use this Firebase from the firebase.js file to this Firebase CRUD.js file. So we have to provide this config from our Firebase project what we have created. For this you have to click on this icon, settings icon, and you can go to project settings, and inside this project settings you should be able to see some config when you scroll down. Okay, yeah, here once you click on this icon, you have to provide some name. Click on register application, and click on next. So here you should be able to see the config. You can copy this and click on continue, and you can paste this in our application. So here you should be able to see the config, and you can copy this and paste in your application. Now I am going to this Firebase CRUD.js, and I will run this application. It's already in running state. So you should be able to see this Firebase CRUD in our browser. So we have got this Firebase CRUD, and the next thing we are going to create is first we are going to create add user form. For this I am going to import the container from Semantic UI React, and inside this container I am going to use some grid. So this grid is also from Semantic UI. Sorry. So inside the grid we will be having two things. One is rows and columns. And to these columns we have to specify how many columns you have to render. So we are going to render two things. One is add user, and after this we are going to render edit user. So I have taken two columns, grid dot column, and the next one is grid dot column. It will be edit user. So let us save this. Now you should be able to see two grids, one with add user and other with edit user. So you can see here we have got two columns. in a single row. Now I am going to take a segment in order to display something like card, and the next thing, inside this segment I am going to use the form which is from Semantic UI, and we have to import this segment as well. And inside this form we can have form fields. We will have one label with first name, and the second one is input. So this input I am taking from Semantic UI. This will take some placeholder called first name, and I will take some property called focus. So it is getting compiled. So you should be able to see the first name and the label. So we will apply some style to get some space above this column. For this I am going to take a div, and to this div I am going to apply some class. So you can apply some margin as well, UI and hidden. So I am going to apply some divider which will be hidden, and let's save this. And I'm going to create another fields with last name, and the placeholder will be last name, and another field for add button. And inside this form field I am going to take a button or import a button from Semantic UI. So to this button I am going to specify a text called add user. So let us save this. Now in order to store the data entered by the user in this first name input, we have to create a variable called add first name. Set a first name equal to use state of empty, and for last name so here I am going to use value equal to a first name and here it will be last name. So once user changes this, So changes text inside the input element. I am going to call on change event handler. So we will be getting the event, and inside this event I am going to use target, and we will be able to get the value what user has entered, and the same applies here as well. On change equal to set last name and event dot target dot value. Now we will be able to get the data entered by the user. Now inside this button, once user clicks on this button, on click event handler will be called, handle add user. I am going to create this handle add user inside our React functional component by using arrow function syntax. Now once user clicks on this, we will be able to store this data or send this data to the Firebase. So for this, first we have to import Firebase from our Firebase file what we have created. And after this, inside the handle add user function, I am going to take a constant called firestore equal to firebase dot database. So this is a method, and we are going to refer to. So this is the same like the table what we are going to create. So I am going to create it as a user info. So it will actually create an object called user info in our Firebase database. After this, I am going to take some object called data, and inside this object I am going to create first name, and I am going to assign the value first name to the property what we are going to create, and another one is last name, and this will be last name. After creating this object, we have to push this object to our Firestore or Firestore database by using firestore.push of data. So once this is saved successfully, you should be able to send the data to our Firebase database. So let us save this and check whether it's able to push the data or not. So let us head back to our browser. So you should be able to see this form, and in the first name I am going to enter Sai Krishna, and here I am going to enter technical, and if I click on add user, you should be able to send the data to the Firebase, and inside this Firebase you have to open real-time database, and you will be able to see the user info object. So inside this you will be able to see the first name and last name. So let us enter some other things as well. So you are able to see another object with the properties first name and last name with the updated object. Now the next thing we are going to create is getting the data from the Firebase database. So before this, I am going to apply some style to this button. called positive in order to show it as green. So once this component gets loaded, we have to get the data from the Firebase. For this, I am going to use effect. Inside this use effect, so it will be called once this component get rendered. So inside this use effect, I am going to use const firestore equal to firebase dot database dot reference of user info. So we should be able to get the data from the Firebase. So this data will be inside the Firestore, and inside this Firestore we should be having the value parameter. Here I am going to take a temporary variable called data equal to response dot val. So this is the function, and I am going to take some temporary data variable in order to store the user data what we are getting from the database. So it will be in the array format. I am going to loop the data, let id in data, and inside this loop I am going to push the data into our user info what we have created. So id will be the id. So here if you see this is the id what we are going to get. These are the IDs, and inside this we will be having first name and last name. So we are going to store all this ID, first name and last name in our user info array. So first name colon data of ID dot. So here we will be able to get only the ID, and by taking this ID we are able to get the first name and last name from our data. And last name colon data of ID dot last name. So let us save this, and after this we will be able to get the data into this user info, and we have to store this user info somewhere by using useState. So set user data equal to useState of, this will be empty array. So we have to import use effect useState. Yeah, after this loop you will be able to get the data into user info, and I am going to set this data to our user data. Now we will be able to get the data user info into our user data. Now I am going to show this user data in the form of a table. So you should be able to see this green color as I have applied some positive style here. Now after this row I am going to display a table inside a grid.row. Inside the row we will be having the columns. As I have already mentioned, we have to specify the columns based on our requirement. As I am going to show only one table in the entire row, I am going to take columns as one. Inside the grid.column, I am going to take a segment, or before this, if there is data, I am going to show the data in the form of a table. If there is no data available, then I am going to show there is no data available and please enter some data. For this, I am going to take user data dot length. So I will check this user data dot length. If it is equal to 0, so you can use strict equality as well. If it is equal to 0, by using the ternary operator, I am going to show that there is no data available and you have to enter some data. So this is similar like h1 h2 like this. So inside this header, I am going to show no data available, please enter some data. That's it. If there is data available, I am going to show the data inside a segment. So inside this segment, I am going to show the data in a table. For this, I am going to import table from Semantic UI React, and inside this table we will be having headers and body. For the header, we have to take table dot header. In this table, we have to use header table dot row, and in this row we will be having table dot header cell. So we can have different types of tables in this Semantic UI, so you can play with these tables. We have 3 parameters. One is first name, the second one is last name, and the third one is update or delete buttons. So for this, I am going to create 3 cells inside this header, and this is the last name, and this will be empty. So let us save this. Now you should be able to render the data or header of the table. So let's head back to our browser to check whether we are able to get what we have created or not. So here we are seeing some user info is not a function, so it's showing the error in 25 line. Okay, sorry. So as this is array, we have to push the data into this array. For this, I am going to use dot push. Let us save this and head back to our browser. So we don't have any data here. As we don't have any data, as per our code, you should be able to get there is no data available and please enter some data. You can see here we are able to get this, and once user enters some data here, you should be able to see a table with some headers called first name and last name. So here I am going to apply some styles to this header. It is text align equal to center, and to this table I am going to apply some properties called celled and fixed with single line. That's it. And inside this segment I am going to apply a style called padded equal to vary. I'm going to copy this and I will apply the same style inside all the segments, and I will show why I am going to add this padded equal to vary. So let us save this. If you see here, we have added padded because we want some spacing around our segment. So this is the segment or the form, and around that segment we need some spacing or padding. So for this I have added padded. Now I am going to show the body. So if there is data, I am going to map user data dot map of data and some index. And inside this we have to return some syntax, and here we will be having the body. So this will be table dot body. Inside the table dot body we have different cells. So for this I am going to take table dot cell, and in each cell I am going to render the first name from data dot first name, and in the second cell I am going to render last name, and in the other cells, in the third cell I am going to render two buttons. One is for update operation and the other is for delete operation. So inside this button I am going to take an icon with name as edit, and this color will be blue, so I am taking primary. So inside this delete button I am taking another icon with the name as something called delete, and this color will be, the button color will be red, and here we have to apply this primary inside the button and not in the icon. So let us save this, and once user clicks on this update you should be able to send the data to the update form. So for this first I am going to, so let us see whether we are able to get the data in the table or not. So this icon we have not imported, so I am going to import this icon from our semantic UI. So let's head back to our browser. So you should be able to see there is no data available. I am going to enter some data, and we have to get the data in the table. So we have got the table data inside the table body and update and delete buttons. Now once user clicks on this update we will be able to get the data in the edit form what we are going to create. So I'm going to copy the same thing and paste here. So we have to copy this segment, entire segment, and paste in this edit user form. Let us save this. So here I am going to add it as update user, and this will be handle update user, and I will create this update user inside our component. So we will write some code. As of now I am keeping it as empty. Afterwards we will be writing some code inside this handle update user. So in order to store the data entered by the user in these update fields, I am going to take two constant variables, two variables. One is to first name equal to useState of empty, and the next one will be uLastName useState of empty. So let us save this. I am going to copy this and paste in the field what I have created. So this is the field, and here it will be set u first name, and here it will be u last name, set u last name. So let us save this. Here I am going to place it as a primary, and I will apply some icon inside the button, and the icon name will be edit. Let us save this, and to this add user button I am going to apply another icon, and the name will be add circle. So let us save this. Now once user clicks on this handle update user, we will be performing some action. So here you should be able to see the update form. So once user clicks on this update button inside the table, you should be able to get the data in the table to this form. So let us see how to do that. So this is the, here I am going to create a on-click event handler. So once user clicks on this handle update click, function will be called, and I am going to create this function by using arrow function syntax inside our functional component. And once user clicks on this, I am going to get the data or send the data. So I am going to send this data of particular object to this handle update click, and inside this function I am able to get the data. Now I will update this last name and first name with the data dot first name, and set u last name with data dot last name, and I will update ID as well. So in order to store the ID, I will create another user ID and set user id equal to use state of empty. So this will be used when we are going to update or when we are going to delete the data. So user id, set user id will be data dot id. So let us save this. So this id will be coming from our Firebase. So if you see here, so this is the id, and inside this we will be having the object first name and last name. So based on the id we are going to update the data or delete the data. So this id will be very useful, so it will be mandatory. So after this, once user clicks on this handle update user, so if you see here, this is the handle update user button, and once user clicks on this update user, handle update user function will be called. So let us save this. So if I click on this, you should be able to get the data first name and last name. So I will write another one. And I will add this. You should be able to see the data, and once I click on this update button, you should be able to see the data got changed, this first name and last name. And once user clicks on this update, we are going to write some data here, or write some action. So we have to perform some action inside this update user. For this I am going to take Firestore equal to Firebase dot database dot reference. We have to get this reference. For this I have written all the code. So we have to get the reference of user info. So you can see here, this is the user info, and we have to get the reference of this. And inside this user info object, we have to select the id by using dot child of id. So here we will be able to get the particular object. So if we select this particular object, we will be able to get this information. If we have selected this here, if we select this update, and if we have selected this one, we will be able to get the information of this particular object. For this I have created all this. Now I am going to apply update to this Firestore. Firestore dot update. First name will be update first name, what we have created, and the last name will be update last name. So once user clicks on this update, I am going to, so once user clicks on this update here, I am going to refresh the form. So there are many ways to refresh. I am going to directly empty the value. So you can use any other approach as well. Set last name of empty. Let us save this. Now even here, once user enters the data and click on add user, you should be able to refresh the data. So let's head back to our browser to check whether able to perform the action or not. First I will delete this data from our Firebase database. So you should be able to see the empty data inside the table, and you will be able to see this text. and once user clicks on add the user, you should be able to get the data. And if I click on update, we will get this data inside this form. Yeah. Now I am going to change the name. And if I click on update user, you will be able to see the change inside this form, inside the table. So we have performed the update action and insert action to our database. Now we will see how to perform delete action. So this is the remaining one, and for this delete I am going to create another function. So to this delete I am going to send the ID. So if you see here, this is the ID what we have to send to our delete method. So we will get this ID from data.id. So we have sent this from the HTML, and here we will be able to get the ID to this arrow function. Now I am going to create the same thing called Firestore, and Firebase. Firestore equal to Firebase dot database dot reference. So we have to get which reference, that is user info reference. And inside this, if you use this, we will be getting entire user info object, but we will be deleting only particular object from the user info. For this I am going to use child of, and I am going to send the ID of that particular child object. Now I am going to perform Firebase dot remove. So once you perform this action, the particular object will be removed from the Firebase database, and you will be able to see the changes in our table. So let us save this and head back to our browser. Now once user clicks on this delete, so we have to refresh this. So we are not able to remove this because here we have mentioned it as Firebase, but we have to mention it as Firestore. So let us save this. Now you should be able to remove the particular object from the table. So it got not refreshed. So you can see here it got removed successfully. Now we will test this again. And I will add the user, and I will add another user. I will update one of the user with some value. So you should be able to see the updated value inside the table, and I will update this one as well. You should be able to see the updated value, and I will delete the second one. So you can see here it got deleted, and I will delete this one as well. So you should be able to see the text. So in this way we can perform CRUD operations, adding the user, updating the user, and deleting the user by using React and Firebase database. So I will provide this code inside the blog or in the GitHub repository. So you can see that link in the description, and you can see the different playlists what I have created for React projects and React integrations, interview questions, and etc. So if you like this tutorial, Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.